Man, this is crazy. This is quite interesting. Camera, audio, mic, microphone. Okay, let's get down to some nitty gritty on this today. Good evening, good afternoon, class. Greetings, class. Come on into the classroom today. We are redefining and changing the way. We are redefining and changing the way education is today, right? We're redefining it. What does education look like today? Come on in today. Come on in. Class is in session. It is an honor to hang out with you. Greetings. I am Chris Haskins. I'm going to be your pilot for the next, 20 or 30 minutes. And I got to tell y'all, if y'all think, man, getting all this stuff together for you, getting training so that you can understand, not only do we have to do this stuff, but then I have to make it so that it's understandable for you because I love you. I want you to understand this craziness. Why do I want you to understand this? Ain't nobody else going to teach it to you. Everybody's talking about going making money and doing this and that, wholesaling. Ain't nobody talking about keeping what you have and advantages. So we're going to get into a lot of that right now today. And if you want to join me at the end for Q&A, there's a link right in the video description where you'll see a link where you can come on live with me and we'll go over some questions if you got any. I love Q&A. That's my favorite part of the trainings that we do here. So let me close this window. Got a million windows open here. Roundup. I'm Chris Haskins. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. And doing that, we have to understand taxes. In my opinion, in my experience, I just wrote a $77,000 check to the IRS a few weeks ago. Well, 50 of it then and another 20 something. So I know our uncle is one of the biggest expenses that we are going to have throughout our lifetime. So I understand that. And one of the burdens of being an entrepreneur is that we have to figure out ways to pay for our kids to go to college or get some type of higher education. And if you don't know, if you save 50,000 of it, $50,000, then let's just say you save $100,000 for your kid to go to school. 30,000 of that is just gone. At a minimum, 30,000 is gone, right? Let me fix this thing. I'll be right back. All right. So if you were, did I do that right? I moved the camera. This camera is just hard to deal with. Move it back there. Boom. Oops. Charles, what up? Roundup homies. Listen, if you care about this channel and we are helping you to, oh shoot. Got me looking crazy. There we go. And we're helping you in your financial literacy. Hit the like button, share, and also, if you find it in your heart to sacrifice a few dollars every month to help us continue to bring content to you like we do, right? There's a join button right down in the video description. It's to give busy professionals and entrepreneurs just a little something extra like Charles. Charles, thank you, one of our newest members. We answer members' questions first. Okay. I have to do that because for me, I'm like, listen, I want my question answered and I'm gone. I got other stuff to do. So let's get right to this. Talking about doing deals. And I'm going to specifically get on wholesaling because I know a lot of you are going to say, well, I don't have any money to do deals. And I don't want you to think that that's the case. So doing real estate tax-free inside of your kids' college account. Now, what one of the doors in my life is how am I going to send my children to school after they leave my house, right? So in doing that, I did a lot of research, found out that there's something called a Coverdale. Let me write that. I didn't even write that on here. Oops. A Coverdale. Shoot, I'll write it down here. A Coverdale account. A Coverdale account. That is for real estate investors, entrepreneurs, investors, business owners. And I want to preface this by saying that I'm not a CPA. I'm neither am I an attorney. I'm not here to give you any tax or legal advice. Go out there and hire an expert for you. This is for informational purposes only. Okay. I don't want anybody to say, Chris told me to do that, because what works for me may or may not work for you. Okay. So throughout my studies, and I'm gonna tell you, I was in a room 2 weeks ago with a guy who was doing this on steroids. He was using the Coverdale to buy a house for his kid in school. I don't want to drag you that far. I just want you to know that you can make large amounts of money inside of these, let's call them buckets, inside of these buckets, because all I know, all I've learned in doing real estate since 2004, all you have is buckets. Got your business account, personal account, savings, a retirement account. Now you got a college account, college account for your kids. Okay. And is the audio okay here? All right. If you want to come on live at the end, there's a link in the video description. It will bring you right into this room and we'll go over this stuff together. It is an honor to serve you as we pass 88,000, y'all. 11.8 thousand to go before we pass 100,000 subscribers. All thanks to you. My heart goes out to you. I think about you guys morning, noon, and night for giving me the opportunity to serve you. We're going to pass 100,000 subscribers. And then I can't believe I'm saying that, dude. I just remember a few years ago, I had 3,000 subscribers. Isn't it amazing? It's just amazing what he can do, right? It's just amazing. How in the world does he do it? I don't know. Okay, so let's get to it. We all understand what wholesaling is, right? You get a house under contract. Well, today's class, wholesaling using kids' college account. Wholesaling using kids' college account. Why do you want to do that? Because it's all 100% tax free. And once again, don't take my word for this. Go do your own research. My custodian is a company called Equity Trust Company. I've got my IRA, my wife's IRA, my kids, Taylor's college account, Morgan's college account, and Preston's college account, all with them. Right. So that's just how it unfolded for me. They have others out there. Matter of fact, I tried to get a few of them on my channel, but I guess I didn't pass the sniff test for them to think I'm cool enough to come on. Right. That's so weird. I'm like, I want to give you money and you won't even come on the channel. So anyway, how do we make money wholesaling real estate? Very simple, right? We get a house under contract. Say that contract, well, we have to put that earnest money deposit up, right? Can y'all hear me? Make sure you can hear me. Everybody, can you hear me? Wholesaling real estate inside the Coverdale. Man, what brings us here today? Let me tell you a little backstory why I'm doing this. What brings us here today is I had dinner and I was hanging out with a few gentlemen last night, some other businessmen, and I asked each and every one of them what type of retirement accounts they had and what types of college accounts did they had. And none of them had it at that time. So I'm like, you know what? I need to get this word out. I have to get this word out. This is and I'm teaching today by being a practitioner. I don't want you to think that I'm just talking this stuff. So I'm going to go over a deal right now that I sent over to my IRA custodian today. I sent it over this morning at 5:30 in the morning. So all right. So wholesaling real estate, we all know you get a house under contract, right? Real simple. You then sell that contract to an end buyer for an assignment fee. Now, in this particular case, the assignment fee is 18,000, but my portion is $9,000, right? Because I'm doing it with another investor. It's actually like 20 some thousand, but when the smoke clears, my portion is 9,000. Okay, so I want y'all to stay with me. You have to understand real estate wholesaling before you can implement and deploy some of these strategies. Now, how do you do that? Well, shoot us an email. We're taking on a few new clients now. A few. I can't take everybody. I promise you, nobody. Not everybody's a fit. Okay, so we understand real estate wholesaling, but it's so important to understand why we need to do it inside of tax-free advantaged accounts, self-directed Roth IRAs and Coverdales, because the profit that goes in is tax-free. So I'm going to mess with your mind a little bit here, because when I heard this, I didn't even think it was possible to wholesale real estate inside of an IRA or inside of a Coverdale. And a Coverdale is nothing but a souped up IRA. That's all. Let me get some water. And some of you might think this is boring, but I promise you, this is the most exciting stuff you can learn because this is where you make the most money by cutting out our uncle out of the deal, right? And it's all in the tax code. See, what we don't want to do is put a lot of contributions. Well, you can do contributions, but they are limited to X amount a year. I believe the cover deal is 2,400, I believe, 1,800, something. You can only contribute to a cover deal. There's a minimum amount. I didn't look that up. I should have. But the growth in the cover deal is unlimited. How much the cover deal and the IRA can make is unlimited, y'all. It's unlimited. So why not try to do some deals inside of these accounts? Now, the kicker with the self-directed Roth IRA is you can't use it until you turn 59 and a half for yourself personally. And the kicker for the cover deal is it has to be used for college expenses, right? But a college expense could be buying a piece of real estate for your kid to go, books, rooming, housing, board, tuition, all that stuff, or sending them on a conference or webinar, or seminar that's going to help them become a better business person if they don't go to college, right? So you got to remember, not everything is about college, right? And we're trying to save you money on taxes because once again, our analogy, if you save $100,000, 30 of that is just gone, right? But if you do it inside the cover deal, you get to keep the whole 100 and spend it on qualified college expenses. Okay. So we got wholesaling, right? On our deal here, on our deal here, we're making 9,000. So, Chris, how do you do the deal inside of the college account, right? And the college account is called a cover deal. We use Equity Trust Company. Equity Trust Company. They don't pay me anything. I don't know how I don't know why I'm even promoting them because they don't pay me. I need to call them, see if they can start paying me. Okay, so here's your contract, right? So what if it would be possible if your cover deal was the buyer on said contract as opposed to you? I have to let that sink in a little bit. Let me tell you how most of us generally do it. We write up a purchase and sales agreement. Either it's our name, our LLC, or in our case, we use our trust, right? So our trust is the buyer. However, what if it would be in the realm of possibility that the actual buyer is your kid's college account? Oh man, now I'm going to try to twist you up a little bit here. I'm going to tell you how this stuff works. Contribution limits. Okay, Layla is $2,000. All right. Yeah, I got to watch that. I'm like, I can't even put $200 a month in my kid's college account. That's weird. So I need to back that off. Thank you, Layla. Coverdale contribution is $2,000 a year. I mean, who's going to send somebody to school putting in $2,000 a year? In 10 years, you got, what is that? It's 20 grand. I'm just keep thinking it's just no money. Older I get, I find out how little $1,000 is, right? So let's start that over again. So in wholesaling real estate, how does it generally work? You are the buyer or your company or your trust, but we got to flip a switch here and say, you know what? I'm not going to be the buyer. My kid's Coverdale will be the buyer of this contract. The Coverdale will actually own the right to buy this property, right? Not you. You're going to put that entity onto the paperwork. You can put that on. Now I'm going to go over the document with you that we sent into Equity Trust today. What's my earpiece messing up like this? I'm going to go over that doc so you'll see exactly how we did it. So, in order for this to work, the purchaser or the buyer, AAA, the college account, has to put out the earnest money deposit. Now, I'm not talking about a lot of money here, right? Because generally speaking, what is the earnest money deposit that we use? $100. $100. That's all we do. $100 goes out. $100 goes out. So when you're wrapping these properties up, the Coverdale is the buyer. You have $100 coming out of your kid's college account. That earnest money goes to the title company. Now you have solidified, you've put up the consideration. The Coverdale, the college account is the entity that owns the right to buy this property. Okay. Now stay with me. I know I might be jerking your brain a little bit, but This is all going to come together. I've got to work it for you. All right. So now that your kid's college account has the right to buy the house, they got the right to buy the house. When you go and sell the property, all the profits go back into the college account tax free. This is where the magic happens. So you can't spend it. It goes into the college account. Okay. So college account funds the earnest money at the time of ratification of the contract. That $100 comes out of the Coverdale. You don't need a lot of money to do this. This is where I promise you, I started with very few dollars in my kid's college account. It funds the contract. You sell that said contract, and then the $9,000, boom, goes back into the Coverdale, all tax free. Now, this is an advanced strategy, okay? I don't want you to think that everybody's doing this, but I promise you they're not. I'm giving you some game today. Matter of fact, give me to smash that like button. What I'm giving you today is just, man, I learned it back in 2009 or 10, I think. Took me several years once again to deploy it. But I want to share this stuff with you because I really feel like we need to take time for our kids today to help them get through school, or whatever schooling it is for you. For me, for my kids, I don't know if they'll go to college. Hopefully, they'll just do a bunch of seminars and go start a business and blow up. Right? I'm hoping that's for them. But I can't wish that. I don't know what they're going to do. All right. So, what if you say, well, Chris, I want to do this wholesale deal, but I need some of the money too. I need some of the money. Did you know you could split it up? Let me tell you what we did on this one. All right. So you're looking here. So we got the house under contract, right? 50% of that contract is me. 50% of the other contract goes to said kids' college accounts. Let me repeat that. You can split it up however you like. You can make it 90-10, 80-20, 70-30. So for this one here, sign the contract. The buyer is 50% us, okay? 50% tax-free college accounts, okay? Because I know some of you are going to say, "Oh, Chris, I need to make the money too. I just don't want to put it all in the Coverdale. I need the money too." I know y'all saying that. I already know you're saying it because I was saying the same thing. Now we do all of it in the Coverdale. I'm like, I don't even want. Don't even give it to me. So now the right to buy is 50-50. Half of it goes to the Coverdale, half of it comes to us. All right. So when you sell it, what happens then? Let's say we made 9 grand on this one here. $4,500 comes back to us. $4,500 goes into the kid's college account. Okay. Y'all see how that goes? So you can split it up however you like. You can make this pie. You can divvy it up however you want to. For me, as I was coming up, I would always do 50-50 to build my IRA. Now, it's Coverdale equals self-directed Roth IRA. They operate exactly the same. The expenses that can be paid out of them are just different qualified expenses. So IRA, once you qualify for it, you can buy whatever you want. But Coverdale, you can only buy college stuff or education stuff. And don't forget, education stuff could be a weekly seminar. Now, if they're going to take a specific class, no, the age is irrelevant. If they're going to take some type of a course or training, any of that stuff, you can still use it. Use the Coverdale for that too. All right, so don't forget in the link in the video description below. There's a link if you want to come on and discuss this stuff. I put a link. I'm gonna start inviting you on. There's a link right there. It'll cut your camera on, and boom, at the end we'll do some Q&A. Okay. So now that we have this under contract, you're selling it, making a fee. But how does the moving parts work? How do they work? So I'm going to share with you something called a direction of investment. I just faxed this over to my custodian this morning. Make sure I don't have blow it up here so I make sure that I don't have the account numbers on here. I want to know how many of you already have a Coverdale account for your kids, and what are you doing for college planning? What are you doing to plan for college? This is a scary thing. I know some of us are thinking about the 529 plan. My boy did that. This is kind of just how it worked out for me. Let's zoom in. All right, here we go. Da-da-da-da-dum. Okay, let's do it. So here's the moving parts. What you do when you Rob, you're doing that. Okay, good. Rob is doing the 529. Good for you. Good for you. At least you're doing something. And once again, I'm not saying that this works for everybody. This is just a strategy that I learned over time. Okay, so let's share with you. I'm gonna show you what the documents look like was we're going to get that money out of the cover deal. So here's something. Can y'all see this? I can't even tell. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if y'all can see this direction of investment form here. Please let me know. And somebody in the chat, let me know if y'all can see this, because once I click on it, I can't see y'all anymore. Can somebody let me know if y'all can see the document here? Oops. Can y'all see the doc? Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can see that document there. Just let me know in the chat if you can see that. Can y'all see that doc? Okay, can see it. Okay, good. It's a little small. Damn, I thought I had it big as I could get it. Oh, I guess I could make it bigger. Sorry about that. That's as big as I can get it. All right. So this is something, excuse me. This is something called a direction of investment. Every time we do a deal on the cover deal, we have to send these documents over to request the earnest money deposit. Because the remember, only thing that's coming out of the cover deal is $50 or $100 or whatever that earnest money that we put up is, right? So this is the form you send over, and this is how you label it: equity trust company, custodian, FBO, my kids, IRA or CISA, and then you put whatever percentage here, undivided interest. Okay, so you can see this is for my daughter, Taylor. I don't know if this is Morgan or Taylor. Account number goes there. And what are we doing for me? For me, it's a land trust agreement, right? You can do mobile homes, gas and oil, real estate options, structured settlement, contract for deed, equipment leasing, joint venture. And that's the trust name right there. That's the trust that we did. And percentage of ownership, I did. Okay, for me, let me tell you, see why the percentage of ownership is 25 here? Let me show you why. Let me share with you real quick why that is. So for me, since I have two daughters, right, and a son, now I have to do him too. So I do out of this, let's say I split it 50-50. 50 to me, 50 towards my the kids' cover deal. So I'll chop this up even more, and I'll put 25 and 25. Okay, I'll put 25% towards Taylor, 25% for Morgan. So they both get equal shares. I probably need to do more for Taylor because she's closer to leaving the house. But in this one here, I did 25%. It was 25, 25. All right. I wanted you to understand why you saw that 25 there. So that's the name. That's the name of the contract name. That's the name of the buyer. Now, investment funding information. Please note, equity trust may require verbal verification from you before processing the purchase. Obtaining such verbal verification may delay the processing times. So we try not to do verbal stuff. That stuff. This makes it move slow. Here's the kicker. Amount required for this investment. $25, y'all. $25. That's it. $25. So on this one here, we've got $25 going out of my kids' cover deal, right? $25 coming out because I split it up here 50. So the portion of the deal is 25 and 25. That means all I need to do is $25 is going to bring back $4,500. Let me make sure y'all got that. What other investment? Now let's keep it in the mindset of the bucket of the cover deal. I don't know of any other investment that you could spend $25 and bring back 4,500. Right? The total deal's $9,000. So the total deal's 18,000 really. So it's 18 here, and I'm sorry, 9 here and 9 here. In actuality, because we're taking home half, and then the cover deals are taking home half, right? So they're going to split 9,000 between my two daughters. So you've seen those moving parts there. That is how you request the money for the earnest money deposit, because you don't want to once you put up the whole earnest money deposit, then it's not a good deal. I'm sorry. Then you're the buyer, so you have to make sure when you're doing these deals that the earnest money comes from the buyer. The buyer is who? The Coverdale. And you got so on this one here, I'm putting up $50 and both Coverdales are putting up $25 each. That's it. Period. As simple as that. And when I understood this concept, I'm like, oh, you mean to tell me you can wholesale a house inside of your IRA? And all this is tax-free too. I'm telling y'all this stuff. Do your own research. Do your research. So when you see that account growing, now that I see that I'm at the not at the seed, but at the crop. I'm looking at the crop. I'm like, you know what? We paid zero taxes on all this capital. It's really cool. When I'm looking back over my life and I see my IRA and I see the Coverdales growing over time, it's truly, man, it just gives you a feeling. And thank you for all your supporters too. And I'm asking you to pray for my family. We lost another cousin today, Kenny Ferguson, RIP Kenny Ferg. Man, so many people are just passing away. Round up, just hug your loved ones. I'm dealing with my friend that passed away and committed suicide. I'm dealing with his house. There's a lot. I talked to his mother today, and she's just, I mean, it's emotional for me going to the house, emotional for them. So y'all keep me in your prayers too, so we can keep this information coming out for my people, okay? Because it's very challenging time, extremely challenging time right now. Stupid phone. 1 second, y'all. Thought I cut that thing on mute. Thought I had you on mute, baby boy. You got me. You snuck out on me. So round up. Listen, if you want to do some Q&A, I'm going to go over one other quick strategy, and then we're going to get out of here. I got to take my daughter to soccer today. Got soccer today, y'all. Oh, let me go back in the back. If you want to come on, the link is in the video description for you to come on this live feed. We got 35 people on here right now. Any Q&A you want. I'm going to, and if you have questions, put them in the chat as well. We'll do them in the chat too. But if you want to come on. So what happens is once you build up this Coverdale, right? You're building it up. Then you can do notes. You can loan it out. So I've got 2 notes out right now. Let's say you loan out 10 grand. I got one guy, he flips cars. I've got another investor that he uses some of the capital to do his construction. So it might be 10,000, bring back 2,000. Whatever you can do to wheel and deal to get that money working. Once you build it in, you build it up, then you start loaning it out. Or you start doing joint ventures with other people. Or you just have the Coverdale buy its own house. Just imagine if you had 80,000, you could buy a house for 30 or 40, 50, fix it up, 60, 70, 80, sell it for 120, 130. All that profit would stay in the Coverdale. You got 100 grand. Your kids are getting educated. You're good. Kids getting educated. You're good, right? So you got to keep other stuff, strategies, tax-free strategies. When I was hanging out with this dude 2 weeks ago, he was just doing this on steroids. I felt like I needed to come back and share with you and show you an actual case study. That's the case study. So, and I wanted you to see the documents that we're using, right? So that is how you do deals inside of your kids' college account. I want to know, what are you doing for your kids to get them prepared for education? Let's get to some Q&A. If you want to join me live, the link is in the video description. Just click on it. We'll go right. It'll bring you right in. Who is this? Indira. Better just saw twins at 16. Good. Bought the first property. Nanika. Hey, Nanika. Can you do the same to buy and hold? Place rents in Coverdale and Roth? Absolutely. You're getting ahead of me today. Today was just kind of wholesaling because I know a lot of people think, well, I don't have all the money to buy the property, right? And that could be the case, but you do have enough. Everybody can come up with $50. If you can't come up with $50, you're in the wrong country. So yes, you can do buy and holds. Like for me, we got several rental property where the rent comes in. They bring a money order. I just signed the money order right over to Equity Trust and it's over. Because you can't collect the money yourself. That money comes in. Let's say, matter of fact, I've done several notes. The people that have borrowed the money to flip cars, or I have another appliance guy that we loan money to from time to time. He gives me a check and makes it out to the IRA custodian. We mail it right in, and it's over, right? So yes, you can do rental properties, business ventures, notes. All that stuff. Long-term holds, the rents will go right in there. Good question, Onika. Good question. So Bob, you're doing 529. Good, good, good. Edward, hey, did you go up? Oh, in the not yet. Y'all messing with me on that stupid house. They are over there cleaning it up right now. I need to remind them to go in the attic while they're there. Charles, thank you for that. There. Any other questions on that? Rob Hammer. Is the $4,500 tax-free return? Yes, but we don't call it. Let's call it. We could call it a return, but my accountant, we want to call it its growth or gain. So when that $25 or $50 goes out and it makes $9,000 or 4.5 each, we're going to call that gain. Contributions are taxed when you put them in. They're taxed. Gain are tax free. Let me repeat that. Contributions, we pay tax. Well, I was always under the perspective, right? Why would you want to pay taxes on the crop as opposed to the seed? I want to pay taxes on the seed, right? So every time we make a contribution, which is cool, let's say you do $2,000, you put $2,000 in, and it grows to $10,000. I want to pay taxes on the $2,000, not the 10. So I never understood why people are doing these tax deferred accounts where you pay taxes when you draw the money out. I'm like, man, it just didn't work for me, right? And you have your own strategy. You have the ability to do whatever strategy you think will work for you. Okay. So for me, I wanted to pay taxes now, not pay it on the crop. And it's worked for me so far. And even on the gain, matter of fact, we pay nothing. Because when you pull this money out to pay for books, school, classes, training, seminars, all that, it's tax free. It's already been through the Coverdale, so you can withdraw it for a qualified expense. Okay. Now I don't want to get too much into the IRAs, but they work the same way. That's a good question there. Yep, tax free. Rob, my attorney just told me about this last week. Oh man, that's cool, Rob. Looks like you've been doing your research, my friend. I like that. Mr. R. Covington, got a deal in the works after watching my recent free foreclosure video. Good. I need a bit of coaching though. Now, how can I speak with you briefly? You got the Ninja Warrior package. Oh man, you are a beast. If you have the 11 audio series, the audio training series, the Ninja Negotiating, Mr. Covington, you have what I like to call an unfair advantage in the marketplace. You have an unfair advantage because you have all the magic words to go out there and sweet talk. If you need a consultation or information on coaching, just send us an email or just go to my Instagram and hit the button. You can book a consultation there. Yes, it's going to cost you because I only have a few hours in the day. That's it. Yes, thank you so much for your Dana. Thank you. Yes, we lost Kenny. RIP, my cousin Kenny. All right, round up. We're getting it out of here. Oh, Rob, you want to come on? Okay, we got one guy who wants to come on and talk about a deal. Let's see what he's got here. I guess you can get some time here if you want to go ahead and come on. Rob, you there?
Yes, I am.
What's going on, homie?
Hey, what's up?
It is good to meet you and talk to you. How can I help you today? What you got?
Well, I was trying to flip the camera around, but apparently that's not working.
Flip it around. Let's see that beautiful smile, brother.
I'm trying.
All right, take your time. Take your time.
It's on front camera.
That's weird.
That's interesting.
Hit camera down there. You might have to cut the camera on.
Well, then it cuts it off. It says it's on.
Oh well. What you got, man?
Yeah, I was wondering because I just heard about this, and so it just seemed like perfect timing that you went over it.
That's crazy, right? The universe works in mysterious ways.
Yeah. So what I'm wondering is, does it always have to be the percentage breakdown? Like, let's say you had 5,000 in a Coverdale, and then you were going to put. Oh wait, what does that say?
Hold up. So you're talking about all right, we got the bucket. You already have 5,000 in the bucket.
Right. Like in the Coverdale.
Gotcha.
And then you're going to add in, let's say 10,000 of your own money as a down payment on a rental. Does it have to be a 33-66 split into the Coverdale? It can only get up to the percentage that it puts in.
That's a good question. So what you're doing is using debt financing, correct?
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole nother beast. I would definitely talk to the IRA custodian about that because you're not buying it all the way outright. But yes, you do have to remember what percentages. Say, for instance, when I bought mine, right? I'm trying to think. Since I was using all cash, I brought in, I think I paid for it. Let's just make it easy for me. I don't even remember what I paid for these houses. 50,000, right? So I brought 25 cash, and then I brought 25, I'm sorry, 12.25 from my wife's IRA and 12.25 from my IRA. So that was a simple one. We knew that it was 50% ownership for me, 25 for my wife's IRA, 25 IRA, aka Coverdale, same thing. So we knew that the ownership that that IRA actually owns the property. It's a little different. I would recommend you to talk to the custodians regarding doing down payments, because you still have to. You got to be. So when the rents come in, say take that one for instance, when we paid 50,000 for it.
Right.
When $1,000 rent comes in, I already know 250 goes there, 250 goes there, 500 comes to me. It's simple.
So yeah, so I guess in a situation where you had $100,000 home and you only put 5,000 in from the Coverdale, and you personally put in 95, you couldn't do like, oh, we're going to do a 50-50 split, even though this investor.
No. I'm listening. Rob, you there? Darn, did we lose Rob? What happened to Rob? Golly. Rob, where you go, bro? Rob, you there, brother? Let's take a question from Chanel while we're here. Chanel, this is all new to me. Good for you. New information never shared but sought. I'm telling y'all, this stuff is really crazy how they just so much data out there that my people just do not know. And we got to go to these seminars to meet people that are doing it. We opted against the 529 and decided to help our kids buy a property when they get older, to help them learn to manage money. Okay, they got that there. Mr. Covington, thank you so much for one of our newest members, brother. R Covington. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for joining our channel. Rob, go ahead. You got cut off there, brother.
Yep, got it to work.
You good?
So yeah, so if you had $100,000 and you put in 5,000 for the Coverdale, 95 of your own money to buy a property, you at most you could only give Coverdale 5% of the monthly rental income, right? You couldn't say they were a 50% investor at 5,000.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, bro.
Right. Okay.
And
This
you
is
got
good
to
to know.
Yeah, and we also have to keep in mind expenses too. So when I pay taxes on that house, I have to order checks from these IRAs when I'm paying taxes and insurance. So let's say the insurance is $1,000 a year. I'll write a check for 500. I'll get 250 out of both of those accounts. Taxes, when I pay those, I have to make sure that I'm keeping records, because not only is the profit has to be split 95-5,
Right.
the expenses do too, Rob.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to have extra in there. You can't just throw all your 5 in, or else you'll be out.
Oh yeah. So a
Yeah.
lot of times, what I did coming up when I didn't have all the money, I partnered with guys, and I'm like, look, why don't I pay for the construction? And I take the money out of my IRA, right? 30, 40, whatever it was. And then it was like an equal split there, because we were just financing. I didn't own the house. I just paid for the construction.
Right.
So I was able to get a larger return because I wasn't the owner. We didn't have to do a 50-50 split ownership. So it was like a note. I can create notes with guys. Here's 40,000 for a rehab, and the note will say bring back 10,000 or 12,000 or whatever. And you can. It doesn't have to be the perfect number. When you get that money back, the custodian knows that sometimes you make less, sometimes you make more. They even have a disclosure. None of these investments are guaranteed to even work. I've lost money on some of this stuff. All right, Rob, anything else? We got Kevin.
No, that's it. I appreciate it. This is really good timing. Thank you.
You got kids? Tell me about kids. Where are they at? What are you doing?
3 and 5-year-old, and they both got a 529 right now.
Good.
Yeah.
So you could kind of do both of them. You don't have to do one or the other. Put them together.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my friend. Good talking to you. Yeah. That was a good one, Rob. That was really cool. Kevin.
Hello?
Kevin's Canines and Aquatics. Is that a store you got, bro?
No, that's my YouTube channel.
Sweet. How's that coming?
It's going pretty good. I just had a few questions that I needed to ask you. Um,
Yep.
so have you ever seen any gay porn?
This fool is that's just a troll, man. What? Can you believe that this dude would do this? Can y'all believe this? Can y'all believe this dude would really do that? I feel bad for people that take their time to come on to winners platforms. Wow, that was really deep. So, round up. If you have kids and you're interested in getting them tax-free income for their college accounts or any type of training, Coverdale is what we use. It grows faster when you don't have to pay taxes on it. Okay. So we went over the whole thing. If you didn't get it all, just rewind the channel and make sure you take a second. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Like this content. Share with anybody else that needs to learn this stuff. Yeah, that was a wow. Cindrica, can you believe that did that to your boy? That's crazy. Who's that? Cindrica, yeah. Would this work in a custodial Roth IRA? I don't know about that one. Can y'all believe that mess? Y'all, I kicked him out, but yeah, that's crazy. Rob, can you believe this fool did that? Derek, unbelievable. All right, round up. I'll see you on the next video. Make sure you're tuned into the channel. I got several guests coming up over the next few weeks. A lot of good training, and I'm working on Black Friday specials for all of my other influencers and trainers. Anybody you want to see a huge discount with, I can negotiate for you. Let me know. Let me know who you want to see on here. Oh, got some other questions. Who wants to see private lenders? It's been hard finding a private lender. Very easy to find. I can't get into that right now. Great things about Coverdale is not only can be used for colleges, but also qualified elementary. That's right. There's certain requirements to set up a Coverdale ESA. You got to have, yes, do your own research on that, but you got to make sure you set it up right. I'm a truck driver paying off credit. Good for you. Who is that? Cash Any House LLC. Truck driver, I want to get a mobile home. I would say reach out to my friend Stephanie. She's the master at that. If you go to my channel and type in mobile homes, we got a whole workshop on how to do that. Okay. All right, round up. I'll see you on the next video. Peace. That fool. Can't believe he come on here.